to others. And if you have been removed from office because of integrity issues, you can't again tomorrow move and apply to the other commission. It's one government, one country. With those remarks, Madam Speaker, I support.
Senator Karen Nyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And on the onset, I want to thank my friend,
Senator Nyamu. It is not Mr. Speaker.
My apologies, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I will look at your face every time I say that, lest I forget. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want from the onset to thank my friend, Senator Crystal Asige, for this very key amendment to the county government election laws, because I witnessed it firsthand in 2022, how this gray area in the law affected our county assemblies. Our case in point in Nairobi, there is a lady called Miriam Opondo, who together with her, we were in the presidential campaign team, and we traversed this country campaigning for this government. And in one of the meetings where the then presidential candidate for Kenya Kwanza, His Excellency William Ruto, who is the current president, had a meeting with the PWDs, actually made a promise in front of the whole country that he would nominate Miriam in the County Assembly of Nairobi as an MCA, and she actually made our party list. But when it came to implementation, Madam Speaker, she did not make it. And that was the story across the country, in all our counties where PWDs made the party lists, various party lists, but did not end up being absorbed by IEBC. I remember they even threatened court action. They actually sought legal redress, but that did not end up anywhere. And that is because of the gray areas in the laws, and that is what Senator Crystal Asige is trying to remedy, Madam Speaker. This amendment is going to ensure that we do not derail the disability agenda in the country, Madam Speaker. When you mainstream representation of PWDs in the grassroots, which are our county assemblies, Madam Speaker, it keeps the disability agenda alive. It mainstreams them in society as envisaged in our Constitution 2010. It is also part of fair democracy that all groups, marginalized groups, are represented, Madam Speaker. So if we pass this amendment by Senator Crystal, it will ensure that the PWDs are actually guaranteed representation at that very low grassroots level, Madam Speaker. As we speak, 21 counties have been allowed to continue without representation of any PWDs. That includes in our city, Nairobi County. We have Isiolo, we have Machakos, we have Gusii, and many other, 21 of them. Kisii, there's no county called Gusii, Kisii County, Madam Speaker. And so I want to laud her for the good job she's doing, and let us ensure that we are not diminishing advocacy of the groups, of the various interest groups that we have in our society. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to also make my comments on this very important bill, the County Government Election Laws Amendment Bill 2024 by the distinguished Senator Asige. And I must start by congratulating her for the excellent work she's doing in this House, bringing a number of bills, and also for effective representation of the persons with disability in this House. Mr. Speaker, this demonstrates that ODM is a party of quality. Because if you look in this House, Madam Speaker, and I know you served as the chairperson of election board of the party, I want to say you did a good job, because the quality of the persons who have been nominated in the National Assembly and in the Senate for the ODM party is of very high quality. And the distinguished Senator Asige.
Senator Nyamu, you have a point of order? What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Senator Osot is taking this opportunity to speak of his party.
What is your point of order? Under what?
And Madam Speaker, I forget the actual.
Madam Speaker, this is a misconduct. She's trying to waste my time.
I'm not wasting.
Senator Nyamu, can you just go straight to what your point of order is? What
My point
is
of
out
order
of order
is that we are contributing to the bill, the amendment of the law, and not, this is not an ODM meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, that one I ignore it. It's not a point of order. I am talking about nomination, and the bill is on nomination. So there is nothing wrong in me trying to talk good about my party and also praising Senator Sige for the good work she has been doing in this work, in this House. Mr. Speaker, Senator Sige has made a very important amendment trying to put specifics to Article 177 of the Constitution, which basically talks about the composition of the county assemblies. The composition of county assemblies, Madam Speaker, under Article 177 of the Constitution, talks about members who are elected in single ward constituencies, single member ward, and also a certain number of special seats which should ideally help the county assembly comply with the 2/3 representation of the gender, basically the gender balance in the county assembly. And also talking about marginalized groups, which includes persons with disability and the youth. Mr. Speaker, this bill will give clarity because Senator Sige is proposing that we need to be very specific that 2 of the people to be nominated must be youth. Secondly, 2 of the people to be nominated must be people representing a marginalized group. And then we have 5% of the representation in the county assembly should be actually people with a disability. I think this is commendable, and it will also give clarity to the Election Act, which, Madam Speaker, you know, when it comes to making this determination after the election, we have had challenges at IBC, where you find that some of the people who are nominated under the youth are actually not youth. Some of the people who are nominated to represent the marginalized group are not actually marginalized group. And in some cases, persons who are nominated to represent persons with disability, in some cases are not strictly PWDs. So this will give clarity to Article 177 of the Constitution and therefore enhance the number of people who are nominated, particularly for PWDs. So this is commendable, and the increase of the number to 5% is also commendable. But Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, allow me to also say something. Whereas I fully support this proposal, but again, we would like the people who are nominated to serve in the County Assembly, National Assembly, and the Senate to be people who will effectively represent the party. Because it is good to have people in these categories. But it's also another issue to have the right people representing the interest of these groups. It is very disappointing.